Thank you all for coming to our engineering showcase today. We are representatives from the Grado Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering. We're going to share with you a video that is kind of a high-level overview of our undergraduate program, and then we are going to answer any questions you may have. So thank you all again for joining, and we'll do introductions before we start our video. So I'm Maggie Johnson. I'm one of the two undergraduate academic advisors in the department. Evelyn, do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Evelyn Robinson, and I'm a senior in Industrial and Systems Engineering and the head of the recruitment committee for the ISE ambassadors.
Thank you. Anvita, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Anvita Nachiepan. I am a junior in Industrial Systems Engineering.
Thanks. And Jenny Lynn.
Hi, I'm Jenny Lynn. I'm a senior in Industrial Systems Engineering and a minor in Green Engineering.
Great. Thank you all. So they will be answering your questions later, and I'm just going to start the video now.
Hi, I'm Eileen Van Aken. I'm a professor and department head of the Grado Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. John P. Shuchek. I'm an associate professor in the department and the associate department head and undergraduate program director.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maggie Johnson. I am an undergraduate academic and career advisor in the department.
Hello, everyone. I'm Paula Van Kuren. I'm also an undergraduate academic and career advisor, as well as the study abroad advisor for ISE students.
Hi, everyone. I'm Katie Muscatello. Grew up here in Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm graduating in May of next year, and I'm one of the ISE ambassador co-coordinators. I'm going to talk about a little bit of what ISE is and what the program as a whole entails. So altogether, we as ISEs design and improve complex systems of people, materials, information, equipment, and energy. There are 4 key skill areas, which include manufacturing, operations research, human factors and ergonomics, and management systems. Manufacturing, we design and improve manufacturing facilities and how they are operated. This includes machine selection and layout, production planning, scheduling, quality control, and more. In operations research, we use our advanced mathematical skills that we learn in class to make decisions, which include areas such as vehicle routing, flight scheduling, locating facilities, and more. In human factors and ergonomics, we study the design and improvement of products that humans interact with. This can include the human mind as well as the human body. And in management systems, we study the more business side of ISE, which is to design and improve systems used to manage business enterprises. These are things such as operations management, strategic planning, and others.
The program in ISE is a total of 124 credits. What we do is try to set a good foundation for all our students, so our foundational courses. And many of these are common throughout the engineering curriculum of Virginia Tech. Courses such as linear algebra, differential equations, multivariable calculus, a course in computer programming, and statistics, and several courses in physics. In order to set the stage for the more advanced ISE courses, we have some general ISE courses, an introductory course, engineering economy, and a course on data management. Then we have several courses in manufacturing. We have some hands-on courses, such as our manufacturing processes lab, and more applied courses dealing with how facilities are designed and run. Another area, of course, we focus on is operations research, and we have core courses in both deterministic and stochastic or probabilistic operations research, as well as discrete event computer simulation. We have courses in the human factors and ergonomics area, 2 core courses for our students, one at the sophomore level, one at the junior level, and all seniors take a 2-semester capstone senior design course, which is very popular, and all our students work on real-world problems with companies solving real-world problems. Our students have a lot of selection of electives as well, and these are listed.
In the ISE department, we strive to have a representative student body. So we're really proud of the diverse group of students that we've recruited to the program and will continue to recruit to our program. This year, we have 634 undergraduate students. This includes 33% who identify as women, 14% of our students identify as being from an underrepresented group. We have 18% of our students who are international students that represent over 26 countries, so we are truly a global department. 7% of our students come from transfer institutions, and 9% are first-generation students, which means neither of their parents earned a college degree. In addition to the courses and our academic environment that you've heard about so far, our students are involved outside of the classroom as well. 83% will do an internship or a co-op, and then 21% will do study abroad or another short-term international experience. 43% pursue a minor. Some of our popular minors include the business minor, the green engineering minor, but then since there is a lot of flexibility in our curriculum, a lot of students will do anything that interests them, such as a language minor or a liberal arts minor. And 19% will volunteer for the department, college, or university on a regular basis.
29% of our students have participated in undergraduate research before they graduate, either as a volunteer or to earn academic credit or sometimes for pay. Student organizations. The Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineers, or IISE, is an international professional society dedicated to the support of the industrial and systems engineering profession. We have a very active student chapter.
Because of how competitive and well prepared our students are when they graduate, we have a very high placement rate after graduation, whether that involves working full-time as an industrial engineer or going to graduate school. About 84% of our students have a job at the time of graduation, and about 11% on average have accepted admission into a graduate program by the time they graduate. The median starting salary is about $70,000. This is higher than the average for the College of Engineering. And the job and career outlook for industrial engineering in general is very strong. The Bureau of Labor Statistics projects about an 8% growth over the next 10 years.
So we can summarize why ISE by looking at the three areas we have listed here: program, people, and opportunities. Our program, we have a top-ranked program, as we mentioned, which is very broad in scope. So we have a very solid curriculum, and there's opportunities for minors. Plenty of our students do undergraduate research, and once again, I'll mention the senior design project, the capstone project, which all our students take and is a gateway to working with companies. People, we have outstanding people in the department, both our including our faculty advisors and our student body, of course. We have over 30 faculty who have come from around the globe to Virginia Tech to provide expertise and teach our students, many who have won awards, both national and international, in their fields. And we have a lot of opportunities, of course, the student organizations that have been mentioned, and many of our students do international experiences. And once again, back to the breadth of job opportunities, our students work in a huge variety of fields using the expertise they've learned in our programs. I'd also like to point out we have over $160,000 in merit and needs-based scholarships available for our students. We do have 2 new scholarships coming on board. And as well, I'd like to point out we do have scholarships specifically targeting or available for underrepresented minorities.
Thank you all for coming and watching this video. We encourage you to follow us on social media and reach out to any of the ambassadors or advisors if you have any more questions.
Okay, so thank you all for watching our video. We would like to start answering any questions you may have. I always like to ask the ambassadors this. Would you each mind sharing why you chose ISE?
Sure, I can go first. So when I came to Tech as a freshman, I was in the general engineering department, as does everyone when they come to Tech in engineering. And I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I loved math, and I knew I also loved people and that business aspect. And so as a freshman, I went to the ISE information session, and I got to talk to all of the ISE students and see what they were doing, from consulting to working for beer companies with their packaging and their manufacturing processes, to working to Ford on cars, and just kind of the breadth that ISE provides, and also the application of having that analytical skill, but also being able to explain that to other people was the marriage of math and business for me, and that's why I still love it, and that's why I joined from the get-go.
Thank you.
I can go next. Yeah, kind of to piggyback off of that, I loved how ISE really had this systems thinking problem solving, analytical way of learning and looking at problems. And I really wanted to learn more about that, of how each different aspect of a system impacts the other. And I really wanted to take an environmental route on that. And ISE pairs so well with the green minor as well. And once I had my first internship in manufacturing, I just really fell in love with manufacturing too, and started to gear my tech electives to there. But I just really loved ISE and like all of the breadth of opportunities it has to offer.
Thanks.
When I first came to tech, I had no clue what I wanted to do. I was in engineering and I was like, everything is so amazing. And the moment I heard about ISE, it was like, it just clicked for me. Like for me, I'm really interested in operations research and human factors engineering. And that's not really something you get to directly study in your undergraduate in any other major. So it was just like this immediate connection. I was like, wow, this is the place that I can go and figure out what I want to do. So.
Great. So what are the ISE sponsored study abroad locations? So I'm going to take the first part of this, and then I'm going to hop it to Jenny Lynn, who's had a study abroad experience. So we have 2 exchange programs. One is in Pucparna in Brazil, and the other is in Karlsruhe, which is in Germany. So those are the 2 main exchange programs where you would take primarily ISE courses. And Jenny Lynn, could you talk a little bit about your experience with study abroad?
Yeah. So I really wanted to do a semester abroad, but I didn't feel I really felt the flexibility, even like for myself, even though it's completely possible and feasible to do with ISE, which is something that's great and that ISE has to offer. So I went, since I felt a little rushed, I went on a short-term study abroad trip with the Green Program, or for short TGP. And I went to Iceland, where we focused on renewable energy and sustainability for 10 days. And we were led in a group with other students, probably about 20 of us from really all over the globe. There was someone from Australia, and then a bunch of people from the United States from different colleges as well. And we toured a bunch of power plants in terms of geothermal, hydroelectric, and I don't think we saw any wind, but I had a capstone project in wind, and it was really just like a condensed version of studying abroad, and really just high impact, where you were out in nature and learning from what you were seeing, and learning in the classroom, learning from other students, and learning from your capstone project too. And it was just so like immersive, I guess. And it was so touching to be able to see and learn all of that within 10 days. I would definitely recommend looking into that program. And if you want more information, please feel free to reach out to me.
Thanks. Evelyn or Anvitha, did either you want to add to a study abroad conversation? I'm not sure if you've had experiences abroad.
This isn't specific to the ISE department, but I got to participate in RSAP my end of freshman year, which was also a really cool program. And there's a ton of different tracks and a lot of opportunities to get involved as well.
Great, thanks. And that stands for the Rising Sophomore Abroad Program, RSAP. So great program for engineers to take advantage of. Okay, so we have another question coming in. What are the requirements for a first-year student to get into the ISE program? So I'm not sure if any ambassadors want to touch on this first, or have the advising perspective.
I feel like the advising perspective would be good, but because I think time, like what the process has been, has changed a little bit since when I went through it. But I know that you rank it a certain way, I believe. But yeah, I mean, take it away, Maggie.
Okay, and then you all jump in if you have more to add. So first-year students will be in general engineering until you complete certain course requirements. Some students get those done within the first 2 semesters, so they're ready to transition to their major right at the end of their first year, and some students might take a little longer for different reasons. So once you have met the requirements to transfer, and this is all available on the engineering education website, you just apply to change your major through a very simple application process. If you have a 3.0 cumulative GPA or above, you are guaranteed your first choice. But as Jenny Lynn mentioned, it is really smart to rank your top 3 choices, because if you're right under that 3.0 mark, you might not get your first choice, but you would get your second, instead of just remaining in general engineering for another semester. So it's really important to do that ranking, and then if you don't get your first choice, you can always reapply again later. So that's good to know. ISE is pretty competitive. This past year, we took students, our lowest GPA based on space available basis was 2.8. So, we are a competitive major, but we do take students below the 3.0. All right, our next question is, what are the main research areas in ISE? Would an ambassador like to touch on this?
Yeah, so the main research areas within ISE specific are operations research, human factors, a lot of ergonomics. But the great thing about ISE is that research projects from all across different departments want ISEs on their programs and their projects. So this a year ago, I got to work on an electrical engineering project that was working for Ford that was creating a connected car application. So kind of making a social media application for Ford cars, which was super awesome and isn't necessarily an ISE project, sponsored project for the department, but that ISE mindset of looking at processes, breaking down systems, and just kind of having that analytical but process and system prioritization in your mind is something that every project wants and needs. And even this semester, I'm on an ISE specific research project, which is looking at using drones in search and rescue processes. So there's a lot of different applications that you can, or different research projects you can join, even outside and within the ISE department.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. Students can do undergraduate research for credit in our department. They can do it sometimes for pay and as a volunteer. So there are a lot of ways to get involved with research in the ISE department, and you can start as soon as, even some freshmen will do it, but a lot of students will start even in their sophomore year when they're brand new to the ISE department. It's a great opportunity. Evelyn and Jenny Lynn, do you guys want to talk about your senior design projects, how those are going this year?
Sure, I can start. So mine, I'm partnering with Gala, and we're doing a cost analysis project for the Stellite welding process and for the lifter blades. And right now we're still gathering data and really understanding how our project is and what we need to complete it. But we're going to start contacting vendors soon to find a new robotic welding arm for them to decrease their cycle time and decrease the risk and quality that they can have while having outside vendors or manual processes.
That's great. Thanks.
So my project for senior design is with Beans and Rice, which is a social service agency out of Radford. So it's a nonprofit, which is really rewarding to be doing work for them that they maybe wouldn't have been able to get access to because of consulting fees without us. So what we're working on doing is streamlining their application processes for their food distribution. So what they do is they have customers come in and have a shopping-like experience with the food that they get from restaurants and leftover from grocery stores. But with COVID, it's looking a little different because they have to do time slots and they can't really generate that shopping experience that they used to do. So we're helping them kind of transition to this weird time and then use this application for their future inventions with a new mobile food market. So it's really great. And the best thing about senior design is not only working with a client, but it's working with peers that maybe you wouldn't have this experience or have met them beforehand, and applying your education to an open-ended problem versus a problem where there's a correct answer and you're getting a grade for it. This is something that kind of you have to be creative with and take client input and feedback into consideration.
Those are so interesting. I know students enjoy the senior design project a lot during their final year. So it's a great way to get real world experience, like you've heard here from these two examples. Thank you both for sharing. They are asking for a little bit more information on ergonomics. So is this design engineering in relation to the human body or in relation to how humans interact with a product?
Yeah, I can go, I guess, high level, but Anvita, you probably have more detail since you're working in it. But human factors and ergonomics, we really look at both. So it's how are humans interacting with a product and a system, mainly looking at a system, whether that is a product or something, I guess something else if you want to take it general, but you're looking at how we can make it easier for people, whether it's something physical or something cognitive in your mind. So whether it's an Apple phone or how your chair is meant to fit your body. So it's really both where we're looking at how does a human operate and how do we think and how does that affect where we interact with systems.
I think that's a really good answer. I couldn't have phrased it any better. And it's a super cool area, and it's some things that you generally don't think about when you're engineering, but it's so valuable and very applicable to the real world. So
I guess one more thing to add on to that is there's 2 required courses within human factors and ergonomics, but you can take more if you'd like to. And the first one is Introduction to Human Factors and Ergonomics. So that's really getting the high level of what this is and really just getting, again, like that problem solving, systems thinking, and all the different aspects of that. And then the next one is Industrial Ergonomics, where you're looking at how does a human or manufacturer and how is it they are affected by their work, and that's kind of looking at more of the physical but also the mental of how does their attitude affect what they're doing, and how do you quantify that to make it better so they're not at risk for mental or physical issues.
Great, thank you. Our next question is another about an area of ISE. Can you study more specifically manufacturing automation or robotic manufacturing?
I don't know if we have any specific course loads for robots within the ISE, but I know that other majors have classes in that you're more than welcome to take. And also we have a lot of design teams here at Tech, which work specifically on like working on cars or working with automating robots and stuff like that you can do outside of your curriculum for fun if you really enjoy that. But like I said, even if it's not within our department, you're more than welcome to take classes for fun in other departments or take it as a tech elective for credit for the ISE degree.
And we do have faculty in our department who do research specifically with robots and automation. So we do have an automation lab that you could take for ISE technical elective credit. And then the same faculty member who teaches that is hoping in the next few years to have a class that focuses more on robotic manufacturing. But while that class is in development, you could join his research as well, because he is currently doing research with robots. And there's a few faculty who are using robots in their different areas of research as well.
To also make it a little more tangible, someone in my senior design group, they actually took a robotic welding class. So it's definitely possible for an ISE to take classes, like Evelyn said, whether it's a tech elective or something you want to take on the side. So there's definitely opportunities within the coursework to look further into. You just need to gear your interest to what you want to take.
And what's great about the ISE department is that you can work with an advisor. You know, even when you're a first year student, all the way through graduation, you'll have an advisor to work with. So we can really help you find some of these cool opportunities as well as hearing from your peers and other students in the department who've done great opportunities. Would any of the ambassadors like to share something about the program that has been a highlight for you over the last 2 or 3 years while you've been in the department?
I think I can go if you want. One of my favorite things about ISE, and especially having experience in those other CS classes and stuff, is the community. Like industrial systems engineering, I didn't even realize this, but I sometimes feel like I'm in high school again. I get to see all the same people in my classes. I also get to interact with so many new people every day. So I just really love everyone. The faculty are so nice. It's literally a home and it's lovely. That's my favorite part.
We hear that a lot. So that is definitely a feeling that many students share in our department. We're very proud of that. Thank you for sharing. I saw the other 2 ambassadors unmute too, so if you all want to share, please feel free.
Yeah, I can go. Just to piggyback off that, the community, whether it's the students or also the faculty, are just so welcoming and encouraging. And I found that especially at Virginia Tech, which is why I chose this school, which is the supportive atmosphere. But specifically in ISE, they truly just want you to be able to do the best that you can do and really support you through whatever journey you choose to do. I love the classes. So manufacturing is something I'm really passionate about. And I love how I've been able to really gear my technical electives to that, but also organizations that I'm in. And I'm hoping to do some research next semester. But I just love the breadth of opportunities. I love being able to pick and choose things that I'm interested in, and having the option is really nice.
Thank you.
I just echo the community thing. That's my favorite thing about ISE. I didn't realize coming into this major that I'd love it so much. my friends get really annoyed. I'm like, oh, I'm going to hang out with my ISE friends at the library all day. They're like, why do you spend so much time at the library? Like, you're such a nerd. I'm like, no, I just love my friends that I've made in the major, and it's such like a great environment. It's not competitive. Everyone wants each other to succeed, not only the students, but also the faculty. I've had one of the same professors for, I think this is my 4th semester now. So you really get to have that connection with the faculty as well. I've gotten closer with Maggie this semester as well. And it just kind of makes it less stressful and overwhelming when you are having difficulty maybe with a class. You have resources and people who will be there to support you. But another thing outside of the community that I love about ISE is kind of how applicable it is going into career fairs. And for me as a senior going into full-time jobs, I'm realizing how much that my education is applicable to multiple different industries. And that analytical mindset is something that is invaluable in the real world. So those are my favorite parts about the major.
Great. Thank you all for sharing. Could you all talk a little bit about your experience with student organizations in ISE that might be more related to the major, but then if you want to share anything else as well? And
start. So we're all involved in ISE Ambassadors, which is what organization is putting this on today. But there's also another organization called IISE, which is the Institute of Industrial and Systems Engineering, which is a huge club that majority of ISE students join. And something kind of outside of the coursework itself is that it's great to kind of build your network within your major. And last winter, I got the opportunity to go to West Virginia and go skiing and snowboarding with people in the major, which was great because I got to know people that I maybe previously didn't know, but also ISE alum will come to these events too. And you kind of get to know them outside of a strict networking event. And so that was really awesome. And I got to meet a lot of new people through that.
Great.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that. So I'm the director of professional events for ISE this year, and I've been able to really just network but also just meet people in the organization, but also people outside of it to help the students in the organization prosper and grow, professionally develop. So that's been really encouraging and great to see, especially also in ISE Ambassadors, being the community involvement committee head and also in the committee last year. I really was able and am able to just interact with the community all the time and just improve processes with whether it's Campus Kitchen or with the VT Science Festival. And looking at more opportunities next semester as well. So that's been great. And there's also a ton of organizations that you can join outside of ISE as well. I'm also a part of Environmental Coalition. I'm the undergraduate student representative for the SGA Energy and Sustainability Committee, and then also a youth group leader too. So I definitely feel like even though in this major there's so much community, there's also so much community outside and just at Virginia Tech in general.
That's a great point to make. Absolutely.
I guess just one more thing. There's also Alpha Pi Mu, which is kind of like the honor society for ISE. I had a great experience with that. They had a pizza and professors night, I believe, last year. And when I went to it, I did not know any of the professors. I was a young sophomore, not knowing what's happening, and just being able to talk to a professor and be like, you're going to teach my class. Do you have any advice? Like, it was a very casual environment, and there's just so many ways to connect with people. Again, it's that whole community aspect. Everyone's here to help each other.
I think something important to add is with ISE, kind of what Evelyn was touching on too, is like there's such a breadth of opportunity and you can really take it more like managerial or you can take it more technical if you want to. Definitely there are other majors that are more technical than ISE, but definitely don't let that draw you back. If you want something that's technical, I do too, and you can still have that route if you want to go in that certain area.
Great. Thank you. So please keep in touch with us. Our contact information is on the ISE website, and you can meet with ambassadors if you want or schedule an appointment to talk with an advisor. So thank you all for coming. Take care.
Everyone.